Tower of the Mind. A 5e in Pathfinder campaign setting with adventures ranging from level 1 to level 20. This is a campaign setting by our good friends over at Awfully Queer Heroes. There's a Kickstarter launching in the next 30 days, and it has us asking a lot of questions. So we've gathered a few of our friends, we're going to sit around a table, and we're going to discuss this campaign setting and tell you what we really think about it. So if you've got 10 minutes, I'd like you to watch along and see what you think. Check it out. So here we are. We have with us, as I said, some good friends. We have Han, Natalie, and Evan. How are you guys doing today?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good. So we all know why we're here. We have some very exciting things to talk about. So we are going to be looking into the Tower of the Mind, the new level 1 to 20 campaign setting by Awfully Queer Heroes. And we've all had a chance to have a look through this material, and we have some thoughts.
Yeah, we got a sneak peek. It's very exciting.
It's great. It is, and it is great. So we're just going to kind of go through a little bit of it, and I can't wait to talk about this personally. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the stuff that I spotted. I mean, I am the resident dungeon master here, so for me it was very much like the big DM-y stuff. Like, I looked at this and went, oh, I'm going to steal like most of this for our campaign, right? But it's brilliant. Like, the thing that kind of stood out for me most about this is that it's not only is it, if you wanted to run it as a campaign from level 1 to level 20, you can do that. If you're currently playing a long-term campaign and your current players are at level 5, you can look at this and go, cool, well, the adventure they've got from level 5 to 8, I could slot that into my campaign. It is so customizable as well. Just through reading through it. I mean, we talked a little bit beforehand about the portal system that they've got introduced, where they have a portal room, and if you've got this wild idea to send your adventuring party off way off piste, then send them from this portal room, right? It's just, it makes it so easy to run and like so easy to do for a DM. It's brilliant. Yeah. There is also like new rule sets that they've introduced into this that are really, really cool. So I don't know about anyone else that watches at home, but for me, one of the biggest rules thing that I really dislike within D&D is that you can go into a big boss fight at 12th level, get the absolute kicked out of you by the boss, everyone, and literally go, oh, we all have a short rest, or we all have a long rest. I'm back to full HP with all my spell slots. Well, not in this, and I will be stealing this because it's brilliant. They have a new hit point thing where long rest is determined by your sleep conditions. Are you outside? Are you in an inn? Are you, are you in an affluent inn? Are you in a castle? What is your surroundings dictate, as well as how long you rest for. How comfortable are you? And by then you get a percentage of your overall hit points back. And I think that's brilliant because it adds further consequence to the game, right? And it's brilliant. It's really, really cool. But it is a full campaign, so please don't think that this is just a micro campaign, which a lot of, if you have a look across the market, you'll find a lot of like well-known distributors and creators. They provide, and we're gonna call out the big ones. If you look at Kobolds, you look at Wizards of the Coast, a lot of the adventure modules that they put together this is designed for levels 1 to 8. This is designed for 8 to 12. And they're brilliant and they are great, but to have such a wide array in terms of a source book that you can bring your players on a whole journey from 1 to 20, I mean, it's incredible. But
it's a rare thing, right?
It is a rare thing, but there's a lot more to it than that. And I'm going to come to all of you to tell me what was your takeaway. So let's go to Evan. Let's go to you first. So you've had a bit of a read through this campaign, but like, what was the standout thing for you in this?
I mean, I'm someone who's terrified of DMing because the biggest thing in my head is always coming up with locations and a bunch of freaking characters because I have a lot of them, but having to fully flesh out stuff like that is so time consuming,
right?
And that's maybe one of the most like prevalent things that I found in this whole set that I think is so cool is there's 45 new unique locations, and there's I don't know 15 20 different NPCs, might even be more with that, with the stretch goals that they have, but all of them are fully fleshed out lore wise, and they also have visual aids for them, which I think is absolutely sick. That would help.
And no AI art either, which is a big win for me.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, it's a huge win, and it might, honestly, this might actually, push me more towards maybe DMing at one point in the future if I have stuff like this to provide me with some help, because I need it. So yeah, no, that's definitely something that I really love about this.
Yeah, I mean,
this whole series of books is like, it's amazing.
you're absolutely right, and I think something that you've you touched on there was the visual aids for each location and NPC, because it's so hard when you go, oh, this is Flagon McGivern, and you're like, cool, who is that NPC, and it's so hard to try and draw like from your imagination at times about
because it's usually just a name or something, right? It's you might get a visual description within the text, but when you actually get like on paper, you see the character and you can be like, okay, I know the voice for this, or I know exactly their mannerisms just because I've looked at a picture. And the same with all of these locations. There's so much lore, and it's just filled to the brim with so much things that you can take inspiration from. And like you said then as well, you can just take these characters and you can also you can use them as inspiration for your own games. So that's the sickest part about it all.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. And the fact that they, depending on how much backing they get for this Kickstarter, they're just going to add more and more and more to this. I can't wait for the finished product. It's going to be insane. But Han, what was for you? What was the biggest thing that you took from this when you were reading through it?
So the first thing that came to mind is, when we were all, including Awfully Queer Heroes, our very good friends, were at UK Games Expo, one of the things, when we were talking to everyone there was a bit of contention about what was better, D&D 5e or Pathfinder. And we're not going to go into the politics of that,
no.
or our own personal opinions. We're not going to go into that.
Space.
But it's not the space. But with this, it doesn't matter, because it's compatible with both Pathfinder 2nd Edition and D&D 5e. So regardless of what system you prefer, you can still enjoy and love this adventure of the Tower of the Mind. So yeah, regardless of which way you swing in that department, you are welcome either way. I thought it was fitting, okay? But kind of touching back on what Dan said, the main thing that draws me to this is the customizability. And Dan and I are lovers of homebrew, as the kind of obviously Dan is the main DM here, but with me, I was going to do a set campaign, and session 1 I went immediately off script. We love homebrew, we love being able to customize, but we still like and appreciate having that kind of the backbone to guide us on our adventure. I think this provides an incredible backbone. It provides an amazing adventure for, say, beginner DMs, like Evans mentioned, but also for the more experienced DMs who want to insert their own spin on things. There's so much customizability here, like the portal rooms that Dan was saying. If you've got something in mind for I really want at level 10 this particular encounter, and it doesn't necessarily fit in, just put a portal and off you pop. There is a string that you can follow throughout this whole thing, and I just think it's such a cool premise. I really like just how much I would be able to customize and homebrew in this if I needed to.
And the thing is, though, if you have been following Awfully Queer Heroes for a while, you know already that they have spell books. They have magic item books. They have a whole array of fully authentic original material that is plug and play.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%.
Right? And I think they doubled down on this, which is one thing that kind of I'm backing it. I'm definitely
I'm also backing it.
But you're absolutely right, and I think the customizability of it is incredible. But on the whole customizability and the original material, I mean, Natalie, you mentioned before about the one thing that stood out to you, but go ahead, because this next little bit, for me as a DM, is very important as well. Natalie?
Me?
Yeah. You are Natalie, so yeah, that's you. That was your cue, look.
Just my name in there, but no. What I'm excited about, as Evan, and being as like Evan, I'm a new BDM too. So having content that you can just literally lift off the page, being stat blocks, being tokens, being depending on what tier level you get, you're going to get digital copies of it too, and they have original monsters and. That excites me because, I mean, there's nothing wrong with goblins and kobolds, but they get a bit tiresome after a while.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that they're gorgeously, drawn, they're completely original, actual monsters. So they have some unique abilities, which I can't wait to use.
Which we're not spoiling now. You're going to have to back it if you want to find that out.
But yeah, just the sheer amount of content you get in it that you don't actually have to think about much if you don't want to, or if you do want to create other things, then you can add it in. But yeah, I do love the fact that they create stat blocks, abilities, and everything. You know exact lore as well to each monster. It has like a lore text as well, so you know exactly what motivates them and how to fuck over your players. So
right. Yeah, I mean, I think all in all and all told, I mean, this has to be one of the most impressive pieces of, unique, creative D&D content that I've seen in a long, long time.
For sure.
I think to cover levels 1 to 20 as well is so impressive that they've considered it this way. Like to do a full kind of thing guiding you all the way through is
Wizards really do like 4 max. I think most of their campaigns cover maximum of 4 levels, so they've done a whole 20. That's mad.
Exactly. And look, with this, you're going to get the adventure. If you were to go over to the Kickstarter, the link for that will be down in the bio below, by the way. But if you go and and you want to back it, you can back at certain tiers, right? And depending on the tier that you want to back it at, you are going to either get digital copies, you're going to get physical copies. They will provide you battle maps for the entire adventure series. It is worth a shot. So I mean, for us here at Tales on Tap, this is arguably one of the best pieces of content we've come across in a long, long time. We're not just saying that because we're friends of Awfully Queer Heroes. We've taken, and I did pre-warn before this happened, that we have to take a really objective view of this, but we've all come out of this extremely
we're all really impressed.
Right? So,
honestly, it's the innovation of it all. Like, what they've done is absolutely marvelous, and it's crazy.
It's an exciting concept. It's just so fun as well. Like I feel like
talking about the tier system. There are tiers in that. One of the tiers that I backed, that I went in, you get other adventures as well. It's literally it's not just this adventure. You get so much for your money. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane. And we here at Tales on Tap cannot wait.
No, not so.
It's gonna be
so excited.
So there you have it. Tales on Tap's take on a Tower of the Mind. Now, if you want to back this Kickstarter, then the link for that will be down below in the bio. But make sure while you're here, hit like and subscribe on the video, because if you are interested in Awfully Queer Heroes material, then there may be something coming very soon that you might enjoy. Thanks very much for watching with us, and we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.